All right, Zach, we're here on our second map of the King of the Beta Hill Showmatch series presented by Major League Gaming PC Circuit, and it, of course, is Steps of War. Now, playing in the beta as much as you have, what do you think about this map in the 1v1 situation?
I think Steps of War is a really entertaining map. I really like the fact that it's just straight heads up. It's a really small map, so early rushes can be very, very powerful. And we'll see what race Louder gets, and if Response decides to go with a little bit more of a cheesy build this time. Actually, I was thinking in that last match, the fact that he tends to be a little bit more of a passive player, what he'd try to pull with Protoss, but man, playing a fantastic game one.
Yeah, we're going to start the map, and we still see Louder playing random. Now, if he pulls Protoss again and actually says that he's lagging to Response, do you think we're going to see the same strategy from Response?
I think Response will mix it up. I can't see him going for the same strategy twice and expecting it to work because Louder is a very intelligent player and he will mix it up. And it looks like we do have another duel. Wow, and Louder messing up his split a little bit, ended up with a couple probes behind, playing a little bit uncharacteristically nervous. Usually he'll play a little bit more solid. He's known for actually being extremely clutch in pressure situations, but right now playing a little bit lagging. He is, of course, spawning the bottom left-hand corner. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what he's going to do to try to make up for it in this match.
Yeah, we do see Louder as the red Protoss in the 7 o'clock position, and we see Response as the blue Protoss in the 2 o'clock position. And it looks like Response is going to get his pylon a little bit earlier than Louder. Maybe he's just a little bit nervous. Looks like he made that 10th probe instead of waiting. He's going to build it
Yeah,
right at his ramp.
I think because of that just slight mix up on the early on that early portion, Louder didn't quite have the minerals. You can see he's already actually sending that probe around. He wants to make sure that there wasn't an early probe that was sent into his base to make sure he's not getting cheesed. Just checking all the corners just to make sure that Response isn't completely trying to bushwhack him with the similar shenanigans to game one. But and going to send out the scout early, which should pay off a little bit for Response because usually you'd expect going up against a random that Response would be sending out the earlier scout. But
Louder is still checking outside of his natural.
Yeah, he's completely thrown Louder off his game.
Now we just see the gateway going down in his base while Response's gateway is about halfway done. And we see Response's scouting probe now going into Louder's base, possibly spot a little late gateway, but he's kind of looking around. I bet you Louder is a little bit nervous as he sees that probe come into his base.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit wary. I have a feeling you'll see him. Well, we'll see if he adjusts and just decides to build a stalker alongside that zealot. That's not too big detrimental cost early to make sure that you get rid of that probe and to make sure you're not running into proxy pylons inside your base. We'll see if Response decides to go with a similar build. I have a feeling he won't go for the same build twice because if he does, I have a feeling that Louder will be able to adjust to it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we see actually a little bit of deviation in the build from the two players. Not too much, however. We see Louder putting down a second pylon before that cybernetics core, and Response opting to put down the cybernetics core before that second pylon. So now Louder, of course, scouts that while he's in his base, and both players are just kind of scouting around with that probe. Louder is now up with has gas and now placing down a cybernetics core while Responses is almost done inside of his base, and Response is now with a second gateway while Louder still has one gateway. So I think Louder is maybe a little bit behind here.
One critical thing to note is his Response actually has 4 probes on gas, which I don't think actually speeds up his mining. So he's losing 1 probe worth of production here at that gas on his expansion. Louder just kind of whacking away. And it does look like Response is going to attempt the exact same build. Louder getting a second gateway now. He's scouting with that zealot. Let's see. And yeah, Response starting to move around, starting to look to plant the pylons here and there. You can see Louder already pulling probes off the line to try to take care of that. But all Louder needs to do is, again, produce 1 stalker, and he should be able to take care of this, or just stay on his game, make sure he knocks down the pylons before they're able to warp in.
Yeah, Warp Gate is now finished, and we see those gateways inside of Response's base now warping into Warp Gates with 1 pylon about to fall inside of Louder's base and the other one about half. We see a Zealot now out from Louder. Looks like 1 pylon is down, but we see 2 Zealots warp in with it's 2-on-2. We see Louder kind of microing out that Zealot. We see Response now taking 1 Zealot out, about to finish this other one. Oh, now with 3 zealots inside of his base and Louder has nothing. Let's see if he's another without GG leaving the game. Louder now takes a second loss to Response in this PvP mirror matchup. And I mean, is this build really as uncounterable as they say?
I really don't think it's uncounterable. One of the big issues is Louder with the later warp gates. He just isn't spawning units as quickly. And additionally, yeah, he's just having a lot of difficulty killing those probes and killing those pylons before he starts warping units in his base. I'm curious if he's just going to switch to his main, which I believe is Terran at this stage, to try to deal with this in the next matches.
Yeah, so of course for our third match, we're going to be going to Desert Oasis and with Response up 2-0 over Louder, and of